In a bustling cities where roads weave like arteries and transport seem to remain a burden, one man's vision is reshaping the way we move. Meet engineer Ochenuell John, a sustainable transport and road safety expert with an unparalleled 28-year journey in the industry.
That's the kind of city we are looking forward to, and this is our dream.
The road less traveled. Ochenuell's story begins on the crowded cities of Nigeria. For over 2 decades, he dedicated himself to working in the public service in the area of transport and traffic safety. With the enormous challenges in the industry, he worked tirelessly on issues of road safety and sustainability mobility, leaving an indelible mark on the industry. A bold transition. But Ochenuell's vision extended beyond traffic safety and regular public service routines. He saw the potential for change beyond the public sector, and so he made a bold move, transitioning to the private sector. This decision birthed Ochenuell Mobility, a game changer in urban transportation development in Africa.
I am Engineer Ochenuell John, a sustainable transport and road safety expert and the Chief Executive Officer of Ochenuell Mobility. An organization and the Vice President of the World Cycling Alliance. And I hold a number of other regional positions in different organizations across the world. So I'm the Vice President of the World Cycling Alliance, and I hold a number of other regional positions in different organizations across the world. I had worked in the Federal Road Safety Corps for 26 years, and I resigned to float the organization I'm currently running. And the rationale was to build a system that can address the intractable problems in our transport system and to address all of the various needs that exist in the industry, particularly urban transport and road safety within. We run currently the Africa Sustainable Urban Mobility course, which is a training program, a capacity building program for city authorities, for secondary level cities, for primary level cities, for government officials at all levels, and indeed all the stakeholders within the sustainable transport value chain. Now, within the system, I cannot run around from Cairo to Ethiopia to Kenya to do capacity building. I'll be questioned on who gave me such powers in the system. But then the need was there, and the opportunities are bound for us to do it, but being able to do it couldn't have been possible because I'm a public servant who must stay under authority. I saw the need, the fact that there's this wide knowledge gap, one of which gave birth to that sustainable transport course. There was the need for African transport experts to go out there and see what is going on. For instance, if you understand transport in Amsterdam and you understand transport in UK and you understand transport in Canada, and then you are employed to work in transport in Nigeria, your thinking will not be the same. So I felt the need for taking Africans, Nigerians to elsewhere to see what is happening, see the changes taking place from the sustainability point of view, from safety point of view, and then they learn in the process, come back to Nigeria, and are able to adapt or adopt those initiatives and programs that can work in Nigeria and embed them into our system. And to that extent, we can enhance the sustainability of our transport system, the efficiency, the affordability, and indeed the environmental friendliness of our transport system.
Paving the way for Ochenuell mobility. Ochenuell mobility isn't just about solving immediate transport challenges. It is about investing in the future. It is a sustainable transport and road safety organization based in Abuja, but with projects, programs, and activities across Africa, and delivers its initiatives through people-centered, innovative solutions and cutting-edge initiatives and programs. With a strong team made up of strong professionals and a versatile team of volunteers, Ochenuell delivers on A. Walking and cycling. B. Public transport, buses, rail, trains, metro development. C. Road safety including infrastructure, audits, assessments. D. Road accident investigation. E. Intelligent transport systems and smart cities. F. Transport in gender and for persons with disability. G. Climate change in transport. H. Inland waterways development. I. Transport and traffic engineering. The above are delivered through policy development and advisory, training and education, research and data, project management and general consulting, dialogues and networking, advocacy and public education. Ochenuell Mobility's critical initiatives. Beside its statutory focus earlier listed, Ochenuell Mobility has developed and is implementing 4 critical initiatives. This includes the following: Africa's Sustainable Urban Mobility Calls. Recognizing the significant knowledge gap in sustainable urban transport, Ochenuell Mobility launched a strategic capacity building program. So far, 11 editions have trained 709 decision makers, engineers, planners, and other stakeholders from 41 African countries. Initially planned as an annual course in Abuja, the program's popularity has led to its expansion to Lagos, Edo, Accra, and Addis Ababa. The course emphasizes that urban transport should prioritize walking, cycling, and public transport, with a focus on making these systems smarter. Testimonials highlight the course's impactful results across the continent.
The course is it's a very nice course. I've learned a lot. Starting with the field trip that we did, that gave us a preview, an experience of Lagos. That was very, very, very enjoyable. At least we appreciated the infrastructure development that have been done by Lagos, Lamata, through Lamata. And my take home is that government need to allocate more money to do the infrastructure. Then coming to the course, we've had very good professors, very good trainers, and the presentation, the experience sharing from other countries like Kigali, Maputo. You're talking from Lusaka. We also got from Addis Ababa, Accra. They were very, very helpful and eye-opening, where we are sharing among ourselves the challenges that we face as the intermediaries and also the mega cities that we have in Africa, and solutions that we can get. And also from the presentation, we also got some studies, best practices on how best we can be able to manage our urban areas. A key highlight being the non-motorized transport, and also how we can use the bicycle as an alternative means of transport.
I loved the way it was arranged. I loved the possibility of touring around and seeing what Nigeria, Lagos has been doing, and also hearing from different partners or different agencies, different cities, what they've been doing and what the challenges in urban mobility are. Also being able to hear from different experts in the academia, in the professional sector, things that we can do to improve active mobility. All these things have been my best highlight was the tour to Marina Station. I loved to see like a snapshot of the Lagos city, what we've been doing, and in that one tour I got to see what Lagos is achieving and what is their purpose. During the training was the presentations and the panel discussions. I loved that I was able to present about my city's activities. I think that was great.
I'm excited to be here. I learned a lot and I think I have more understanding and it's an high hope now. Particularly talking about the sustainable urban mobility. It's good. We have the public transport already. Now we want to incorporate NMT, non-motorized transport into it. All we are doing is to ensure that the climate is improved. We have a problem with the climate change before, but if NMT come in and there is a space for them to move, I think we'll have a better environment to improve the health of the citizen and the environment at large.
In fact, since I came here, this is a very excellent program. In the past 2 days, I have learned quite a lot about sustainable urban mobility. Quite a lot of things that I didn't quite understand before now. I understand it perfectly. And I think the lesson learned would be used in helping to plan and to implement environmentally friendly and socially inclusive urban mobility in Kaduna State.
The course is this sustainable urban mobility course here in Lagos. It was my first time here attending this course, and it was a good experience. I was talking with my colleagues there that I had the opportunity to be in other trainings with other participants around the world, but this experience was different for me. Different because we are among African cities, sharing the same experience, same challenges, at least same kind of environment. I think that our challenges are quite the same, and we saw here very good approaches and solutions that each city is taking.
Sustainable Urban Transport Study Tour. In line with the knowledge bridging gap, Ochenuell Mobility introduced the Sustainable Transport Study Tour, which leads decision makers and urban transport experts in the urban value chain to high-performing cities in Europe and Africa. So far, 17 participants from Ghana and Nigeria have participated in 3 editions, visiting cities in Hungary, Germany, the Netherlands, and Slovenia. The tours aim to provide practical insights into best practices, inspiring participants to adopt effective solutions for local urban transport reform.
While I was in the system, I had opportunities working remotely with others on different initiatives. So upon my decision to resign, we working with other like minds, we went ahead to incorporate it into an organization, and straight away we went to CAC, we registered it, and then we got our certification, and then we began operations and basically focus at this time in 4 different areas. So we run 4 initiatives amongst others. Of course, we have other small activities we do, but principally we are focused on those 4 areas. Number 1 is the capacity building, which is embedded in the Africa Sustainable Urban Mobility course, a training program, like I said, that handles trainings here and there across Africa. As I speak to you, we have done 10 editions. 10 editions. We've had trainings repeatedly in Abuja. That was the initial intention, to have it resident in Abuja, and people come from around the world, around Africa, to participate. But over time, we had the need, particularly in Ghana, where we saw participants in one edition, 18 people, 14 people coming all the way from Ghana to attend. So we made Ghana our first point of call to say, why don't we do it outside Nigeria? So we took it to Ghana. while we are doing it in Ghana, there has been calls from other countries to say, why don't you bring this to our domain? And then we work with development partners to establish editions in different areas. So we have the Lagos edition, we have the Abuja edition, we have the Accra, Ghana edition. And this year, we are starting it in Ethiopia, and we are also starting it in Egypt. We also have collaborations with other international organizations, and we plan to have such collaboration undertake similar courses in Cameroon and in some other parts of Africa.
Capital City Cycling Championship. The Capital City Cycling Championship is an initiative of Ochenuell Mobility, hosted annually since 2021. The championship was initiated to coincide with activities marking the United Nations World Cycling Day. The UN General Assembly declared June 3rd as World Bicycle Day and calls on countries and stakeholders to mark the day, considering the benefits of cycling to health, economy, society and environment. The championship, which also serves as a national cycling critical mass rally, have three main objectives and started with only 12 cyclists in 2021, but now host 400 cyclists annually. 3 editions has taken place, with professional and amateur cyclists winning prizes and have opportunity to up their skills and make a career. Importantly, the event draws cycling enthusiasts and high-level government officials in the recent editions. One of such was in 2023, when the then Permanent Secretary of the Federal Capital Territory Administration, Mr. Adeshola Olushade, in response to cyclists' request, promised that FCT will commence the recovery of cycling tracks in Abuja. The promise was fulfilled in June 2024 with the commissioning of 2-kilometer Jahi-Katampe Road, which has bicycle lanes on their side.
The Federal Capital Territory Administration created the first bicycle lane in the city of Abuja, and I think this is worthy of acknowledgement. It's very much worthy of acknowledgement. We have done a banner just to say, Mr. Wike, thank you for the first bicycle lane you have created in the city of Abuja. We appreciate it.
You can see in recent times, something epoch happened in the FCT when you see the newly constructed road, commissioned road at Jahi, where we have the N10, where we have the bicycle lane, which is something for years we have been trying to encourage, because our site has been one of the global standards of city development, of urbanization, and also to help environmental factors. Cycling has been really encouraged among people, not only because of the environmental factors, but also for physical development, longevity, and health issues.
We saw the creation of the first bicycle lane along N20, that is the Jahi to Katampe road, which was commissioned by the Minister of FCT. It becomes the first cycle lane in the city of Abuja, usable one indeed, as a response to the promise made by the FCT administration during the 2023 Capital City Cycling Championship to mark the World Bicycle Day in 2023. And so we have continued to generate this. Athletes are winning prizes, but beyond the prizes and skills being developed and new skills being discovered, we are generating the activities that will ensure that interest of residents of the city and across Nigeria is generated towards cycling. And we are having the authorities participating and making promises to enhance cycling and develop cycling in the city. To that extent, our aim and objectives for Program 4 of Ochenuell Mobility Initiatives is being realized.
Open Streets Abuja, initiated by Ochenuell Mobility, aims to reduce car dependency by transforming busy urban roads into pedestrian-friendly spaces. This citizen-driven initiative temporarily closes city center roads to vehicles, allowing residents and visitors to enjoy activities like cycling clinics, children's cycling competitions, street debates, poetry, art exhibitions, skating, and wheelchair races. The event promotes sustainable urban mobility and social cohesion. Since its inception, 4 impactful editions have been held in various parts of Abuja's city center.
To create a platform to, allow young ones learn cycling, compete in cycling, make career in cycling, and ensure that they can find a future for themselves in cycling. And number 3 is to make sure the city is healthy, people can take advantage of the opportunity, ride, enjoy themselves, and have fun.
There's a saying that says, catch them young. It's better to get them involved young. Dropping off children by a motor vehicle and letting them ride to school, which is better. You see, it creates that mental ability. It touches their mentality, giving them the opportunity to think, to be part of decision making, to understand the transport system, to know the signs on the road. So with such events, the kids, secondary school pupils have an understanding of what their right is on the road.
Ochenuell Mobility Safe Streets to School program, launched in 2023, aims to improve students' mobility in Abuja by addressing safety concerns, traffic congestion, near schools and transportation costs. Key components include stakeholder awareness of existing gaps and the need for action, held on May 2, 2023. Training on street design and infrastructure suited for students' travel, held on September 21, 2023 for 43 engineers, town planners and other experts from the FCDA, FCTA, DRTS and other arms of the city administration, as well as related federal authorities. An awareness workshop for Parents and Teachers Association. A pilot donation of a 20-unit bicycle parking facility to Tudunwada Secondary School and bicycles for selected students. The launch of the That Buy Me a Bicycle Instead campaign. Development of a Ride to School guidebook approved for distribution to all schools in the FCT. Ochenuell Mobility is actively promoting public transport awareness to shift the focus away from car-centric development. The advocacy emphasizes 3 key messages. 1. Reducing the construction of wide roads designed for speeding cars. 2. Redirecting investments towards developing high-quality organized and high-capacity public transport systems to alleviate congestion. 3. Encouraging public officials, including chief executives, to utilize public transport funded by public resources instead of relying on personal vehicles.
If you travel abroad and see how seamless this is work, you begin to wonder, when are we going to get there?
Everybody needs to understand the essence of cycling. If you cycle within your environment, what is the benefit you are going to derive? If you abandon your vehicle and walk from your house to your shopping mall and walk back to your house, what benefit would you derive? On health ground, cycling and walking is recommended. It will increase the health of the individual, and also it will reduce some of the arthritis, for instance, that people are suffering. In most developed countries of the world, cars have been abandoned. They introduce mass transportation. Those people that are working, going to work, they adopt cycling or enhance them to reduce carbon emission in the society. Because if in a family you have a family of 4, for instance, and the family of 4, they have 2 vehicles or they have 3 vehicles. Imagine 3 vehicles from one family going outside. The emission that come from the exhaust pipe, connecting with all other families in the country, is affecting the climate change.
Ochenuell Mobility is collaborating with key stakeholders, including the Federal Ministry of Transportation, Federal Road Safety Corps, and NGOs, to create a national cycling policy and strategy. The project, initiated in 2023, has resulted in a completed draft policy document. a national stakeholders policy validation workshop took place on June 13, 2024, themed Cycling as a Tool for Freedom, led by the Permanent Secretary of the Federal Ministry of Transportation, along with industry leaders and policymakers, to validate the policy for 2026 to 2030. The final draft is now being presented to the Honorable Minister of Transportation for processing and approval. Additionally, Ochenuell Mobility is assisting various states in developing urban transport policies, strategies, and master plans across African cities.
Currently, we are developing the national cycling policy for Nigeria. We are talking with the Kano state government, Edo state government, and a number of other state governments to help them develop urban transport policy. So that's another one. Then we also do drivers training. We know that the behavior of drivers contribute a lot to safety and the well-being of people on the road. So we do drivers training. We do technical engineering works also for cities to ensure that we are doing all aspects that will ensure the beauty, safety, and well-being of those who use the road.
Well, looking at it, it's a global practice all over the world. Measures have been taken to address issues of climate change. You may also recall our president has also made a statement that Nigeria is going to achieve zero carbon emission by 2050. And for us to achieve that, we must improve on our green road users. The green road users are those who do not emit any form of gas while using the road, which is cycling and pedestrian, those walking, cycling and walking. So when we come to cycling, as is the global practice, we have countries, even in Africa, where a day in a week or two is declared as car-free days. So those days you either walk or you cycle, no cars on the road, including the president of that country. So coming down to Nigeria, we have to take measures to protect the environment, to enhance our own health through physical exercises, and then also the economic impact. Yes. You'll find a situation where people spend up to 1,000 to 2,000 and so on transportation. It affects every other aspect of their living. So we believe with cycling, they will be able to save money and channel it to more important areas.
Interestingly, Ochenuell Mobility worked with like-minded organizations and presented several of resolutions to the National Council on Transportation, NCT. The major ones amongst these are the declaration of 30 km/h as default urban speed globally, which is now domesticated by the NCT resolution. Secondly, is the UN declaration that public transport should be integrated with cycling development to provide seamless connectivity. And thirdly, is the UN call for effective policy development to strengthen the development of the sustainable urban transport systems. Each of these three received the NCT approval, making them national policies which stakeholders, especially state governments, should implement. Following the low level of implementation of these at the 17th NCT, the Council mandated Ochenuell Mobility to work with states and FCT to facilitate training and implementation. This we are currently doing with a number of states. Most importantly, all success recorded in this our journey is incomplete without this great set of partners, which include government authorities at all levels, private corporations, development partners, academic institutions, NGOs, and civil society and individuals.
So far, we've enjoyed some bit of support from government at all levels in terms of collaboration and partnership to host events and organize activities. To be specific, the Federal Minister of Transport, the Federal Road Safety Corps, Federal Minister of Health, the Director of Road Traffic Services, the FCT administration, the Lagos State government through Lamata, and a host of other government agencies have supported us in one way or the other, specifically on collaboration. And that is very fantastic because they are needed. We can't work in isolation. We can't develop transport. It is government that will develop. And if we want them to work, then we need to work together. So our job is to ensure that we identify the gaps, show the interest, prove that this can be done, that can be done, and then allow government to do it. And in doing our studies, in doing our advocacies, in doing all of the capacity building, government remains a veritable partner that we can't run away from. And we have continued to enjoy that partnership. But we need more of it. We need more of open doors of government to allow their personnel participate in our training programs, in our sustainable study tour abroad, to ensure that they can participate in the various activities. Open Street, for instance, if government people don't come, we can't count it a success because they are the ones that need to go implement whatever ideas we are cooking from all of these platforms.
Engineer Ochenuell John's journey from a dedicated public servant to a pioneering advocacy, front-runner and private sector leader in this largely misunderstood subsector of the transportation industry exemplifies the power of vision. Ochenuell Mobility stands as a testament to what can be achieved when expertise meets passion, transforming one man's dream into a collective movement for a better future. As the sun sets over the nation and its capital, where Ochenuell is based, stakeholders are called upon to join this towering vision, as whatever is achieved is seen are also but a tip of an iceberg. Achieving a sustainable urban mobility with mobility systems that are safe, efficient, adequate, inclusive, accessible, comfortable, environmentally and economically sustainable is the vision. Only until such is achieved for Nigerian African cities that we shall assume success.
By 2030, the various objectives we have set would have been substantially achieved, including how the growth of cycling will change the face of transport, how public transport will grow so fast that people won't have need to use their personal cars, how the environment will be free for children to play in their neighborhood and run on the road, that parents, elders, old people can carry their walking stick and walk on the road and not be struggling with cars. That's where we are going, and we are hoping that with the support we have currently, we can achieve our aim.
Meanwhile, Ochenuell Mobility transforming transport, transforming lives. Join us in our mission. Visit our website to learn more and be part of the change.